What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. All the time you guys are asking me, do an office tour, show your setup, do your office tour, do an office tour. The reason we never do this is because this room is never clean. It's never fixed, it's never finished, it's never where we want it to be. It's in constant flux. And it's almost always dirty. But today I'm going to show you my secret shame that is this office, this studio, this room. And we're going to make some changes to it. Probably won't be the final changes. There's always going to be changes to be made and always stuff to organize and collect. But I'll at least show you what we're working with. Here's what you're used to seeing all the time. Here's the background. These paintings, I think my wife got at like TJ Maxx or something. And people always ask me where that one came from. I think it's like TJ Maxx or some big box store like that. But I've never seen it anywhere else. Same with the Hulk one and the whatever. And then we have a bunch of other paintings to be hung up that are just not taken care of yet. Of course, you got the weapon collection. There's the Master Sword and the Shield, the Keyblades, which I just got for this birthday. There's the awesome Halo Sword. There's the lightsaber from that lightsaber video from so long ago. Then there's actually the shelf here with, collector's edition stuff. Like there's the Halo 5 collector's edition stuff. Some pop vinyls, mostly Star Wars ones. That's a Star Wars toy there that we got from... wow, that came from Disneyland, actually. More of these little art prints. I've been collecting these comic covers quite a bit, and I really like collecting those. A little Star Wars hat. Finally found a hat that would fit me. There's Nathan Drake. There's my Pit Boy. There's these little drawers here are just filled with figures. Just filled with either pop vinyls or Disney Infinity. There's my little Harambe. There's my from Overwatch. There's Harambe. Now I'm just going to call him Harambe. That's one of the very first collectibles anybody ever sent me there is that Stormtrooper, the Desert Trooper. That's been there for a while. There's the Doom one. There's from Fallout. There's a lot of this stuff you're going to recognize from Loot Crate as well. And then the shelf here, well, it needs a lot of work. We got some D&D books on top. I always like promoting that game. There is the from the Game Awards, the little cool thing that I got when I presented Total Biscuit as the winner. There's a copy of Legend of Zelda. Some amiibos, some vinyls. There's that Star Fox memorabilia. A lot of this stuff you definitely recognize from pop vinyl. Here's an interesting story right here. This is one of the very first pieces of fan mail I ever got. This Superman here. It was made in the 60s or 70s. It's sat on a man's desk for nearly a dozen years, I think he said. And then eventually one day he decided to send it to me, and as a source of his inspiration. And it's inspired me ever since. We've had that this whole time. I love looking at it. And all of this just needs to be reorganized and cleaned up, because as much as I like the way it looks on camera right now, I want to swap stuff out. I want to put new stuff in and get old stuff out. And it could just be better organized too. Now, as for my setup, here it is. We'll get to it. First off, I'll start off with this little area. This is the processing area. Whenever I get new toys or new items or something gets sent in the mail to unbox, it goes in this little box. There's the Francis shirt there. And we use that anytime we need to just put something in the studio and I know it needs to get worked with. Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering cards. Everything else starts here. And this little shelf is all of our gaming consoles. And we use that for, obviously, filming for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And there's the Xbox One S. The second Xbox One S, this is the one I obviously ordered from Amazon, has not been set up yet because we just haven't had a use for recording for Xbox One just yet. But we do have the Wii U, and with a little bit of canned air on top of it. There's my little BB-8 remote control vehicle. It's made by the guys over there at Sphero. I love that thing, man. There's an unboxing of that on the channel. These drawers, pretty much just filled with wires and controllers and garbage. There's actual garbage. But yeah, filled with wires and controllers and garbage. The two VR devices are right here on the floor. And I haven't used them in a couple of weeks, though. Now that I do have a VR-ready laptop, I'll end up taking one of those with me as I travel. A little personal heater. There's my computer. And a bunch of Loot Crate stuff on top. This is what I use for lighting. It's basically just these two sets of lamps. And if I want to add a little color, I turn on the bulbs with the colored lighting. But for the most part, I just like the lighter lights, softer lights. Two monitors set up. One's a television so that I can pass through straight to it to play the console games. And I've got a capture card inside the tower. And then a little washable keyboard, the Yeti mic, the headphones plugged into the Yeti mics. Those are just some Shure SHR 240s, a Naga mouse, and then this over here is the pile of stuff, which this is stuff that has been processed and unboxed and has not found a permanent place in the home, so it's temporary. There's stuff in here like pencil boxes and old props and a couple pieces from loot crates, and if I get some promotional material from the guys at a video game company or something like that, they tend to go in there. My life is Pokemon cards right now, so here's my Pokemon collection as well. Pokemon cards, Pokemon cards, Pokemon cards, Pokemon cards. This is a new addition to the room. This is my wife's new setup. She's been playing World of Warcraft with me. She's been playing Hearthstone quite a bit, and so we have her set up over there. She favors the diet sodas, whereas I favor water for the most part. And we've got her set up so that we can start recording with her playing if she wants to. People always ask about the chairs that I sit in for some reason, and it's actually very, very simple. Here is just the chair that I use. It's just this little mesh-backed thing that I got off of Amazon for like 180 bucks, and it works. Its weight limit's up to 450 pounds, and it's comfortable for me, and I haven't broken one in a year, so I don't know, everybody acts like having a good chair is magical, but this is just the first one I saw on Amazon at a reasonable price, so it's honestly nothing special. It works. It just works. So the goal now is to try to reorganize everything and make it much cooler. There's also a bunch of collectibles throughout the house that I would rather have in here than where they currently are. Let's see if we can make room for them. This is going to be tough, but I think it's doable. This has been in the collectible shelf in the front room, and part of the sword from his back is missing. So this broke off when I was unboxing it originally for the channel. But it is pretty amazing. Witcher 3. No, honey.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Witcher 3, amazing. One of my favorite games of all time. One of my favorite collectible pieces as well. That's the first boss of the game. I just got to get his sword, and then we got to find a place to put it. The problem is always the fucking cords. Where do you put the cords? What do you do with the cords? There's cords that literally run from here all the way across the room. We thought about putting them under the carpet, but then I don't want to ever accidentally like roll over them and damage the cords. Cords everywhere. Cords for the light boxes, cords for the machine, cords for the cords, cords for the cords, cords. Cords, of course there's cords. That is way, way better. These are all my collector's editions. And let me ask, see which ones you recognize, which ones you don't. I have a bad tendency to pre-order some of the worst games, but at least I have decent figures from those games. I mean, the games may suck, but at least sometimes the figures are good. That's the other reason I feel it's safe to pre-order collector's editions. I never pre-order just a base game. I'd always wait for the review, but at least with the collector's editions, you get some plastic junk. Isn't that right, Destiny? Halfway through the process, I have begun to realize that it's hard to differentiate between Sammy's toys and my toys. I think at the end of the day, they're all the same. They're all his toys. They're all your toys, Sammy. And now this is all looking way better. The Overwatch real-life loot crate down there, Winston, and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and then you got Yoda, this Vader painting we still haven't hung up. The shelf looks great now, though. Look at this. That's way better. I love that. And for those of you always complaining about the pillows, we now have the pillows situated in a way that works. And yes, if you've ever noticed, which would have been impossible to notice, that is a Borderlands to actual Borderlands loot crate. The little crate that you get the guns in. That's a gun crate that those pillows are sitting in. But yeah, this is way nicer. This is way nicer. Rest of the house still a nightmare. But that's never going to be perfect. And that's it. I mean, as much work as we could put into today. We were supposed to take 20 minutes. It took 2 hours. Honey, thanks for all your help.
Welcome.
Do you like it better at least?
I think it looks way better.
I think it looks way better too. All right. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much. I'll speak with you again soon.